The lamp on my nightstand shouldn't have turned on by itself. It hasn't worked right since the storm last winter. Moody wiring, loose switch, forever needing a jiggle. But last night, at 1:11 a.m. sharp, the bulb glowed softly to life. One flicker. Then another. Two gentle flashes. Exactly like she used to do with the hallway light when I was a kid. That's how my mom used to say, "I love you." Two flickers, always two. But my mother's been gone for 7 years. And the moment that lamp blinked twice, the air in my bedroom turned so cold it felt like someone exhaled beside my ear. My name is Hannah Avery, and I live in a quiet little cul-de-sac in Maple Bend, Oregon, the kind of town where porch lights glow earlier than the sun sets and the neighbors wave even when they don't know your name. I moved back here 6 months ago, into my childhood home, after Dad downsized and asked if I wanted it. At first it felt comforting. But houses hold memories differently than people do. They don't fade. They echo. And my mother's echo never left. My mom wasn't dramatic or loud. She had soft ways of loving, warm blankets, thumbs brushing tears off cheeks, light gestures instead of words. The flickering lights thing started after her second round of chemo. When talking hurt her throat, she'd flash the hallway lamp twice whenever I left her room. A quiet, "I love you." The night she passed, the power went out in half the neighborhood. When it came back, one lamp flickered twice. Everyone said it was a coincidence. I wanted it to be. But last night, 7 years later, the same flicker pulsed through the same lamp she used to read under. And then something even stranger happened. The photo frame on my dresser, one I haven't touched in weeks, shifted a full inch the moment the lamp stopped glowing. As if someone pushed it. As if she was trying to get my attention. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat in bed, staring at the lamp, waiting for it to move or spark or give me some hint that what I'd seen wasn't real. But it stayed dead. Like nothing had happened. The next morning, I took the lamp apart. I'm not handy, but I'm stubborn, and grief makes people do weird things. The wiring looked fine. Nothing loose. Nothing that should have caused a flicker. I went downstairs to make coffee. That's when I found the second clue. On the kitchen counter, beside the fruit bowl, sat a post-it note. Pale yellow, slightly curled at the edges. In handwriting that made my breath freeze. Don't let them turn off the light. I stared at it for so long the edges blurred. It couldn't be her handwriting. It couldn't, but my brain insisted it was. Same slanted loops. Same gentle curves on the Y's. Same way she dotted her I's almost too high. I pressed my thumb over the ink. Fresh. Not dusty. Like it had been written last night. I checked the locks, deadbolts, windows, sliding doors. All secure. No signs of a break-in. No intruder. No explanation. Just a note, and a lamp that flickered twice. I told myself it was exhaustion. Stress. Maybe sleepwalking. I did that as a kid. But then I opened the fridge to get milk for my coffee. And the second I pulled the door open, the kitchen overhead light flickered twice. Soft. Warm. Familiar. "I love you," I whispered back without meaning to. The room felt thick, heavy with something unsaid. Then, from the hall, something clattered. I stepped out slowly. The picture frame that had shifted last night? Now it was face down on the carpet. I knelt to pick it up, brushing dust off the glass. The photo was one of the last taken of Mom before things got bad. Her smile was tired but real. I carried the frame to the table and set it upright again. The lamp flickered once. Just once. The single flicker wasn't her signal. It meant something else. I didn't know what. I should have called someone. My dad. A friend. the electrician, anyone with common sense. Instead, I grabbed Mom's old journal from the box in the hall closet. It was my symbolic object, something I've kept but never read through fully. She'd written in it during her treatment, recipes, thoughts, sketches, a whole world I wasn't sure I was ready to revisit. I placed it on the kitchen table. The instant I opened it, the page fluttered to a random entry. October 8th, 7 years ago. Her handwriting wavered but was still hers. If something happens, if I can't speak, the lights will tell her. She'll understand. She hears me better than anyone. I slammed the journal shut. My heart pounded against my ribs so hard I thought the whole house could hear it. The doorbell rang. I nearly jumped out of my skin. When I opened the door, Mr. Danner, my next-door neighbor, was standing there in his usual heavy jacket, even though the morning was warm. "Morning, Hannah," he said with that too-flat tone of his. "Everything okay last night?" I stiffened. "What do you mean?" He shrugged one shoulder. "Saw your bedroom light go on and off around 1. Made me think of your mom." My heart clenched. You noticed that?" He tapped the side of his glasses. "These old eyes catch odd things. Just checking in." But something about the way he said it felt wrong. Like he wasn't asking out of kindness. Like he was gathering information. He nodded once, then turned back toward his house. But before he reached the sidewalk, he added, "Be careful with that lamp. Some lights shouldn't be turned back on." A cold rush shot through me. Wait, what does that mean? He didn't answer, just kept walking, and when I shut the door, the hallway lamp flickered twice behind me. That afternoon, I drove to the Maple Bend Library to look for old town records, anything about our house, our street, the wiring, the land. Anything that might explain this. The librarian, Marjorie, helped me pull dusty folders and clippings. "You grew up in the Avery place, didn't you?" she asked. "Yeah." She frowned. "Your mother was a good soul. Everyone liked her." I nodded, throat tight. Then she added something that made my skin prickle. She filed a noise complaint once, right before she got sick. Said she kept hearing tapping in the walls at night. I blinked. I'd been 12 when she filed that complaint. I didn't remember it at all. "What else did she say?" I asked. Marjorie hesitated. "Something about the lights. She said someone was communicating through them." I nearly dropped the folder in my hands. I took everything home, spreading the papers across the dining room table. Most of it was boring. Property boundaries, a fire report from the 80s, a wiring update Dad had done years ago. But one thin newspaper clipping made my stomach twist. Maple Bend family tragedy reopened. Daughter claims mother tried to warn her through lights. It wasn't about my mother. It was dated 1979. Another woman in our neighborhood had died of sudden illness. Her daughter, about my age, claimed her mom flickered lights to warn her that someone was coming into the house at night. But by the time anyone believed her, the girl had gone missing too. I rubbed my temples. This wasn't grief. This wasn't imagination. Something was repeating. Something tied to mothers, daughters, and the lights. I went upstairs to clear my head, but halfway up the staircase, the hallway lamp glowed. One flicker. My chest tightened. 2 flickers. Warm. Gentle. Mom's signal. I closed my eyes. "Mom, what do you need to tell me?" The lamp glowed steadily, then dimmed, then flickered once. Just once. I whispered, "1 flicker means danger."
doesn't it?
The bulb flared bright, too bright, before snapping off completely. And behind me, downstairs, I heard a slow, deliberate creak. Someone stepping on a floorboard. Someone inside the house. My breath locked in my lungs. For a long moment, I didn't move. The house didn't move. Everything waited. Then, another creak. Closer. I gripped the banister and forced myself to look down the stairs. A shape stood at the bottom. Tall. Still. Watching. My neighbor. Mr. Danner. His jacket hung crooked like he'd put it on in a hurry. His eyes were too wide, too bright. "What are you doing in my house?" I whispered. He stepped up one stair. "You shouldn't mess with the lights," he said softly.
"They remember."
My stomach dropped. He climbed another step.
"I tried to warn your mother."
Another step.
"She didn't listen either."
I stumbled backward.
"Get out."
He smiled. Small, cracked. "You think the lights are your mother? That's sweet, but naive." Two more steps. "You didn't read the whole journal, did you?" My throat tightened. "What does that mean?" "Your mother wasn't talking about her messages." His voice grew colder. "She was talking about theirs." The hallway lamp above me flickered violently, erratic, panicked. Not two flickers. Not one. A burst. A scream of light. The air shifted, sharp, electric, like the house was bracing itself. Mr. Danner reached the top step. "You should have left that lamp unplugged," he said. "That's how it chooses who to speak to." The lamp blew out. Everything went dark. My pulse hammered in my ears. Then, a second lamp in my mother's old room flickered softly. Twice. Mom's flicker. Warm. Warning. I ran for the room. Slammed the door shut. Shoved my dresser against it. Mr. Danner hit the door hard, rattling the frame. "You can't hide from something that already chose you," he shouted. I backed into the center of the room, gasping. The bedside lamp, my mother's favorite, lit up. Two flickers. "I'm listening," I whispered. "Please, tell me." The lamp glowed steady. Then the closet door behind me creaked open. I turned slowly. Inside the closet, hanging on a nail, was my mother's silver necklace, the one she'd been buried with. Cold dread spilled through me. The light flickered once. Danger. I backed away from the closet. The lamp flared. The door behind my dresser jolted again, cracking wood. Mom's lamp flickered twice. A message. 2 words. "Look down." I did. Carved faintly into the floorboard was writing. Old. Scratched by trembling hands. "The light is not her. Someone is in the walls." I reeled back. Mom hadn't been warning me with the lights. She'd been warning me about them. The dresser behind me jerked violently. A hand shoved through the gap in the doorframe. Large. Male. Grabbing. Mom's lamp grew blinding white. And then, the bulb burst with a violent flash. The entire house plunged into blackness. And Mr. Danner stopped banging. Silence swallowed everything. Then distant police sirens wailed outside. A radio crackled, suspect identified, armed, unstable, entering residence. He ran. And the house finally exhaled. The officers searched every room. They found Danner hiding behind the shed. He'd broken into 2 other houses over the past month. They said he fixated on families with patterns, lights, noises, rituals. He'd been stalking ours for decades. Mom's noise complaints, her fear, her journal entries. She hadn't been imagining someone in the walls. She'd been hearing him, watching us, waiting for her to die so the next daughter would move in. I sat on the porch steps as the officers drove him away, hands shaking. A paramedic wrapped a blanket around my shoulders and asked me questions I barely heard. All I could focus on was the dark house behind me, the unplugged lamp beside my bedroom window. Still off, still dead. But as dawn crested over the trees, a single flicker glowed faintly inside my room. Then another. Two. Soft. Warm. Not frantic. Not dangerous. Just familiar. Just love. I closed my eyes and whispered, "I love you too." Now I can't stop wondering, if the lamp flickers tonight, gently, twice, will it be my mother saying good night? Or something else finally learning how to say it back? Would you go back, if it called you? Let me know below.